Hi guys, welcome to Emerald Coast Family Gaming. My name is Bill, and in today's video I am going to do a much requested video and something that has met with a lot of compliments and a lot of questions. One person in particular asked me where we got our intro from, and that person is the Order of the Diamond. He's been very kind enough to comment on several of our videos, so I wanted to make this and show him how I got the intro. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below that will link a couple of alternative free softwares that you can use that are just about as strong and as powerful as what I use. I was able to recreate this intro in both of those softwares, so I know that it works. But I'm just going to go with software that I know how to use. So we're going to start with in PowerPoint, and you can see here on the left hand side some of the things that I've made with this, and they're all just actually individual elements. And the one that's up on the screen right now is number 18 there, and that's just the background. Now you can start with a blank slide, so I'm just going to plug in a blank slide, and it's directly below my other one. And the first thing that I do is I insert a shape and pick whatever shape you like out of the list there. I started with a rectangle, and you see the default colors are blue. But once I've got the rectangle on the screen, then I can go into the format and change pretty much all the visual looks of it. So in the shape fill, I can pick whatever color that I want. And then there are more color choices. You can actually get a color wheel and really get specific if there's a certain color that you would like. But I like to do gradients. So we'll just start with a green. And I'll do the gradient. And I go to more gradient, so I have a lot more control over it. And in the gradient fill, you can see it went back to a blue because the last thing I did obviously on this program has something to do with different shades of blue. Now down here where it says gradient stops, I can add in and move the gradient, and I can change the colors of it. So each one of these stops I can put a different color in. So this one you can see is kind of in the middle. So what I am going to do with that one is take and put kind of an orangey color in there. So now it's kind of an orangey looking color, and I can move that around, changing from where it's dark to light. Under the preset gradients, under the type of gradient, this is a linear. So that's a line that runs across. But you can also change it to radial. And you can change the position of that radial, because right now it's down here in the corner and radiating outward. So it kind of looks like you're nearing the sun. You can make it a center, which is what I did in our video. And you can see I can tighten that up to make it look more like a ball in the middle. And I can eliminate some of that gradient where it radiates out as orange, and now you've got a sun in the middle. And I can darken the color on the edges if you want, because I think that actually adds a little bit more of a real feel to it. So I can pick a little bit of a darker color and make that come in closer to the sun. So now we've got something that looks approximately like a sun. So that's how I did the background there. And obviously I added a pink gradient to give that kind of early morning or late night feel. And like I said, this to me is a sunrise, it's a dawn. So there is the ball. Next thing I would add is really up to whatever you want. You could add the green background there for the ocean, so let's do that. That again is going to be an insert, a shape, a rectangle, and you can just put it wherever you want, make it as big as you want, and again go in and change the colors. Let's see, like I was telling you guys before, the ocean here, when you're far offshore, it looks blue, dark blue, just like any other ocean around the world. But as you get in closer to shore, because our sand here is pure white, people will refer to us as having sandy white beaches as opposed to the light brown or grayish colors, or even when you go to Hawaii, the black beaches. Ours are totally opposite. Ours are pure white. So what I did was threw in some green. So I'm just going to change the color to, let's see, which one am I on? Let's start with a dark one. And put in a shade of green. And then I can darken it, lighten it, whatever I want. But I'm going to actually remove, I can just click on and highlight it and remove a gradient. So now the orange is gone. Throw out some of the blues. And there I've got kind of a sheen look to it. So there it kind of gives it a reflection look. Now you notice it's got a outline around it. The outline right now is a blue, so we just want to change it to either no outline or the same color. I choose no outline since I've got the gradient in it, because you can't gradient the edge. So there, now I've got a horizon line. I can actually move that up a little if I wanted to kind of match it. And we'll just pull this down to extend it. And there you have a sunrise on a greenish looking water. Now the rest of what's on here is nothing but clouds, or a form that they call, shape that they call clouds. Oops, don't want that, I don't want that. Go into shapes and icons, go down to the cloud. Now you can see the cloud is nowhere near shaped like the original. All I did was stretch those out. So I stretched them out till I got a shape that I felt like was cloud-like. And then I formatted it, took away the outline, because I don't want it to have that kind of curled in feel that it has. And then again, just applied colors and gradients. This time I went mostly with hues in the red area. So there's a pink gradient. Let me get rid of these. We'll start all over. You have to have two gradients, a beginning and an end. So that other one will go a little bit lighter. Let's see, we'll go down in here somewhere. Give it kind of a stormy look. And then I can just continue to add in gradients. And actually what I think I'm going to do is move that one, and I'm going to add in and make a super light along the red line, and make that one a linear one so that it runs across. Change the angle so there's more running completely across as opposed to stuck at one end. Something like that. And if you'd prefer to have it on top, you can either change the angle or just flip it around, is what I did on some of them. So I gave it that fluffier look. Actually, I want to lighten that up a little bit more, I think. And maybe pull it off the screen some. So there you go. That's how I did the clouds. And I did the same thing with the water waves that you see here. I just put in a bunch of waves. They're all just clouds stretched out to different lengths so that the waves don't look exactly the same, but give the appearance of being similar. I put the lighter color of the gradient at the top and a darker color at the bottom, and then just started and piled them one on top of another. The only other thing I want to show you guys in this very quickly is how to rearrange things. So right now I only have 3 elements on here. I have the main background, I have the water, and I've got a single cloud. But let's say that you can change the order. Let's say that I wanted that to be a wave, like a big tidal wave coming at you. And with it like that, it's in front of the water. So I want to give it a different look. I can actually, with it being highlighted, can right click and send it back or backwards. If I send it to the back, it will be actually behind the sky. So I'm going to send it backward which will move it back one step, one element. So there it is, it's behind the water now. So that's all well and good, you're saying, because now you have a picture, or not a picture, but you have a image. What are you going to do with it? This is one of the really, really good things I like about using this particular software. And I also tested it in the one I'm going to link in the download below that's free. Works the same way. So hit Control A, which highlights all the different elements. Control C, which copies all the different elements. Then you go to another free program called Microsoft Picture, and you can paste in the picture. The image we just pasted, you see it's not a square or rectangle. And you know what you're going to do. You're just going to crop it to the size you want. You can crop out all the rough edges. We'll get rid of that offset background there. Click OK, and now you have a rectangular image. And you just save it, and it'll be in your pictures, in your picture folder, your default picture folder. So there you go. That's how you make that. Okay, this, you can see each initial is its own letter, so that, or is its own inserted element, and that's just text elements. So that way I can control the size. And then all I have to do is just reposition them to get it the way that I wanted. The biggest challenge that I had doing this was finding a font that I liked. Since we live on the Emerald Coast, I wanted something that had an ocean or a sea or a pirate kind of feel to it. And I found one that's called Manic Sea. You can see right there, Manic Sea, that I really, really like. And then I just added some texture to it, or some bevels to it, so that it gives it a little bit more of a 3D feel. And then the word family is also in all lowercase Manic Sea. In each element, there's a total of 5 elements there. And then the same deal. Once I copied it and pasted it, it comes up with a completely transparent background. So now that I can add and size that logo anywhere that I want. So right here you can see it's its own picture. You can just move it out like that. So anyway, you take all those elements and you're going to put them into your software that you use to edit your videos with. I use Sony Vegas, but you can, and I will link another program at the bottom that's free, and it's actually just as powerful. It's just different than this one. So I just used something I was familiar with. You just bring in your media. Let's see. So I made that one last night just messing around. I don't much care for it because I didn't put a lot of time into it. But we'll start with it. Once you have that up there, you can just drag it out as long as you want, and it will stay on the screen. So like in this case, it's going to be on the screen for 1 minute and 29 seconds. And you can make it as long or short as you want. All it does is just show you. When you play it, that's what you'll see. It's just that. Then I added the initials, or actually our name. So let's import some more stuff. Let's go to my actual folder where I keep everything. And these are all the finished ones that I can drop in. These are all just turned into pictures. And some of them I've sized and resized, but let's see. Do I have the name? My goodness, I don't have the name. Oh well. So we'll put that one there. Same deal. You see it's got a clear background, or a transparent background. So I'm going to drag it down, put it in the timeline, but it can't be in the straight timeline, because what will happen is if I put it there, it actually covers up the one that's on it. So it has to be its own So I'm going to insert a video track and put that one on top of it. And now, since it's clear, you can see has a clear background. You can see the letters and the background picture. Now, the last thing that I'm going to add will be my music. Import media. Go up one. I've got all my music. And that's a very organized one, because I want to give everybody their proper credit. And you can just search free, copyright-free music. YouTube has, in its creator section, tons of sounds and music you can do. And then you can also go to people's websites like Kevin MacLeod here. He writes a lot of music that I like. He's a very talented guy. There's other places too you can get free music. I just want to make sure it's free and then follow whatever recommendations they have for giving them their credit. And of course, mine's called Infinite Power. I use Audacity to edit it down. And there's tons of Audacity videos if you want to see how to do it, but it's very simple. So there's the intro. So I'll just copy that, put it in my media, and now I can bring it down here. And for some reason I recorded that super loud, so I have to always remember to lower the volume on it. So I'm going to expand the timeline here just a little bit so you can see it runs for not quite 8 seconds. And I used 8 seconds because this is what everybody was recommending, that your intro should be relatively short, but enough to get their attention. I wanted it to be something that was unique, so that's why I didn't use any of the pre-made templates that are out there. And if you use a pre-made template, that's just great. I don't blame you a bit because it's already pre-made. And now when I play it, you can hear the music. Of course, I can't hear it because the volume's down, but you play the music and there you have it. Now, the one thing that I did was I timed it with a flash. So let's put the flash in. Import media. And I labeled that as a raw image or raw video because that's what they are. They're raw videos. They're images. Click in the flash. And I'm going to drop it in. You can see the flash start to finish is a big. And it actually has its own sound to it, but I don't need that sound, so I'm just going to delete that track. So now when you play it, you get a flash. It takes up a lot of the screen, puts a black into it. So basically what I'm going to do is really expand this out so I can get it edited down by grabbing it and just shrinking it along. To where the only thing that I have is the actual flash. And none of the... Okay, so there's the end of the flash. Here's the beginning of the flash. And then I just kind of put that so they fade together. You can see where it's making that X. That's just a crossfade. And so now when you play it, you get that. And then I just move the element so that it went to a part of the music that made sense to me for the flash to be there, kind of emphasized by the music. Like I said, I don't have the volume turned up on the monitor, so I can't hear the music. So I'm going to do that. So you may get a little bit of echo in the music when it plays. But we're going to turn it up just a little tiny bit so I can hear it. And right there is where I normally put it. So we'll just move all that back to there. Move that to there. Because right there is where I want it, I believe. And we'll start from the beginning, and here we go. little bit off on the timing. Just adjust it, get it where you want it to be. Just remember, this is your video. Make it however you want it, what makes you feel good. A little bit off. I can still mess with it and get exactly where I wanted it. Now, the only other thing I did is I edited this so it actually shrinks the logo and it drifts off from the center of the screen down to the right hand side. And you just do that by editing. Again, you just go in and you can add a key point, which will tell the software that in between two key points you see this image. And then I just added one more at the very end of the length that the video is, or this element's on screen, where I shrink it down. So basically right now what's gray is what you see on the screen. And then I want it to shrink. So I'm going to move this key point out. Actually, I'm going to copy that key point because I want it, and then paste it. So now in between these 2 points, which that's a long time because that's almost 10 seconds. So in between those 2 points, it will stay what you see here. And then I'm going to see, I need to see what I'm doing. So there, now I'm shrinking it. And I'm going to move it to right there. And shrink it some more. Move it some more. So that's what that element does. So in between this middle element and the end, it will go through all those motions. It just won't be as jerky as what the movement was. It should look very smooth. Now you can see it's fast, but you can move those points around. You can move those points around and get it the way you want it. A little bit slower, but you can see the point there. I did the same with the outro music. It was done in Audacity. I made it fade in and fade out, so that's why I can take the middle section of a song and bring it up louder and then fade it out, because that's not the actual end of Infinite Power. So that would be my intro right there. And then all I got to do is drag this over and render it, and there I have a completely done intro. And then I just use this element every time I do a video. Just all I got to do now, once it's rendered as a clip, just add that clip, add my video that Chris and I do, and then put the outro on the end, and we're done. So if you guys have any other comments, any other questions, just leave them down below and I'll answer them best I can. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys want to hear about or see about. I enjoy reading all y'all's comments. I read every single one of them, and until we grow to the point or get to the amount of comments that I can't humanly possibly manage it, I'm going to answer everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.